Primordial Radio.
Ricky from Motionless in White here at Download 2023 on Primordial Radio. Hello, Ricky. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Good. Welcome to Downloads. When you say staying true to your core as a band, and we talked about how life has changed and priorities have changed, the core itself will have changed.
Of course.
And so has there been sort of struggles and conflicts in that change? They go, okay, wait a minute, now we're doing something a little bit different. I thought we were doing this before.
I don't think so. I think that over the last decade of putting out albums and writing music, it's been kind of an evolutionary process. Whereas I know that there's some bands that will just, they'll have a metalcore album and then all of a sudden they'll do radio rock.
Yeah.
And recently I've seen a couple of those, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. And I think I
know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure that most people probably know what I'm talking about. And I think when you do that, it kind of alienates your fan base and makes them feel like, wait, this isn't what I signed up for. I feel like music, any type of art that people invest in, resonates with who they are as a person.
Yep.
And if you change too much, it makes people step back and go, whoa. I don't know what this is.
I get you. I get what you mean. But I mean, you are not the same from when you started to now.
No,
it's very different. But there are bands that just go, hey, that worked. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. AC/DC, Iron Maiden, for argument's sake, right? Who have been incredibly successful.
Yes.
So this is working. This is our formula. I don't know if it's a formula. Maybe I'm being disrespectful. But then there's a band like Bring Me the Horizon last night, and they were, from when they started to present day, very different.
Oh yeah.
But last night, people were singing, the old stuff and the new stuff at the same time. So there are people that would accept, you know what? I too am changing, and I'm willing to go, and also just go, do what I signed up for. Maybe they should go.
I think that there's also a sort of a fine line that comes with putting out music that's different, or experimenting with your sound. And I think that Bring Me is a great example of a band that's now at a point where they can literally put out anything.
Yeah.
Which is good, but it also helps that they're great musicians.
Agreed.
And they write amazing music. If they put out an album that sounded like their Strangers song, and it was awful, I'm sure that people would be like, nah, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, agreed.
But
agreed.
They just cannot write a bad song.
The Who Band, Download 2023 at Primordial Radio, just come off the main stage. Last time I saw you, you were in a tent up on the hill, and now you're main stage. That's quite a progression in 4 years. How does that feel?
After coming back after 4 years, being a big stage is so excited. And also we couldn't see the end of the crowd, so it was like awesome to see all these fans from the big stage. Yeah, shouting who.
When you're on the main stage at Download, do you have that moment when you look around and you look at each other and go, how on earth did we get here?
Yes, after all this, because participating in the 20 years Download, the anniversary, right? So after participating in the Download big festival, and also to see each other and also to see the fans, it was awesome.
Why do you reckon? Because sometimes there's bands that are really popular in one country, but you guys have done it across the board. It seems that internationally people are embracing Hunu. Is that pronounced correctly? The music. Why do you think that resonates with so many people around the world over other fairly traditional forms of music?
So, two things. The instruments we use is one of the main reasons, because traditional music from heritage came from all the way back in the day from Mongolia, and because, for example, horsehead fiddle is the instrument we Mongolians enjoy hearing it, because wherever we go, when we hear it, the sound just gives us like calm and peaceful and energy. So we respect the certain instruments. So example, just like that. And second reason is that we send a message through our music to love and respect, nurture Mother Earth, to love each other, respect each other. So that's the message we send to the fans, and I believe they receive it through that.
Primordial download 23 here with Brutus. How you doing?
Very good. Yeah. Just got off stage. Was awesome.
Unison Life was one of my favourite albums of last year. That was just such a beautiful, well put together album. How pleased are you with Unison Life now, looking back on it? About a year on, isn't it, I think, at this point from the album?
Thank you. Happy. I feel happy. We feel happy. We put a lot of work into it. And then, yeah, on to the next one, I would say. We'll finish this year first, all the shows, and then slowly think about the next record. But we feel very happy. We cannot say that we had not put everything into this album. So I think for what we had, we did more than what we could actually. So
I'm going to say this in the loosest term possible, in that I'm a drummer. I play a little bit at home. I got to grade 5 and I play just for a little bit of fun. But I was watching your set today and I was thinking, how is your brain compartmentalizing these incredibly complex rhythms whilst also handling the vocals? Is it difficult to have that deal with that complexity in your mind?
It's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
In this band, like I don't see. When we started, I saw like I'm the drummer who sings, and now I am doing this thing. Like it's like one thing, and of course you have to practice it. Like I'm not going to lie that when you start singing and drumming, you need to practice. Like you can take the notes, but there's a different. Like if you would mute the drums and you sound like you're drumming, then you're not quite there yet. And so that was the hardest part for me. And I'm still learning. I still have to learn a lot, and I still have to take a long road until I'm there. But it's for me, it's the most difficult thing. Like that, the two instruments separate are sounding like it's one person on their own.
Oh, Jay, this is an honor, my friend.
It's an honor to be with you.
And to you.
As a world famous commentator.
Well, and the best drummer that I'm going to see here today.
Oh, you got the memo about that, right?
I did get the memo. It's like you got the memo about 10-minute drum solos. I think they're in.
I paid our press team to send that out, yeah.
But mate, you're the drummer that everyone notices, yeah? You're the drummer that does the 10-minute drum solos and makes them cool again.
It's just to give my bandmates a break. That's literally why we do it.
That's what it is.
That's why we've been doing it since the beginning. Yeah.
This is like, I'm going to go sit down for a little bit. I've done my
need
bit.
some
I've sung my
water,
hardest. You stand over here. Do you want to talk F1 or do you want to talk Halestorm?
Hey,
I'm just going to listen. I'm going to listen and learn.
Okay, so you watch on a regular basis, I'm told?
Yeah, since I was a kid.
Yeah?
Every Sunday. This was, my upbringing.
And your family are racers, yeah?
I grew up, my dad was, he's an incredible mechanic and had a 911 that, we bought as a wreck and rebuilt it, and then, now they call them like outlaws, to slam a big engine. And he was like the first to put like a 3.8 motor in a 1982 911. Like the first, maybe not, but to my knowledge anyway, is my dad. And he was in the PCA, and we'd go to track events all the time at Pocono and Summit Point, just tracks are at Watkins Glen in our area.
Oh, nice.
And then I got a Volkswagen GTI VR6 and worked on it a bit. Had some work done to it, and I put slicks on that, take that on the track, and just racing is a big part of my upbringing.
For the camera, please.
It's lights, sound, away we go!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wrap.
Primordial Radio Download 23 with Eugene from Jinjer. How are you, man?
Not bad, really, yeah.
Yeah.
The day has been really busy, but at the same time, fantastic.
I watched your set earlier, and I was wondering what the crowd looks like from your perspective, because from the crowd, all I could see was this.
Well, the crowd today was awesome. So many people, and I keep saying that the download is special in terms of the shape of the ground here. So it's like an amphitheater, so you can really see people going up, the crowd going up, and you can realize how many there are. People have been supportive since the very first day, and I cannot ask for more. Those who are not indifferent, they already did something, and I appreciate everyone, even for a small contribution to this. There are no instructions. I will give no instructions. Everyone does what they can. And that's enough. Even a small thing is a piece of a puzzle.
Absolutely. So, last album then, 2021. How much is any of this influencing new music? I think you might be working on new music. Like how is that sort of molding together now?
I think, honestly, we have most of the upcoming album written. I mean, in terms of demos, music-wise, no vocals over it, but just music-wise, it's already written, most of the new album. So we are waiting for a starting point to go to the studio, record, work on this, rearrange. We will have a lot of time this time. We'll have a lot of time for this. Yeah, so definitely after we are done with touring, next step will be making the new album.
JP from Clutch, download 2023 on Primordial Radio. JP, how are you?
Quite well, thank you.
You're exhausted? It's been a tough couple of days for you.
It's I'm not exhausted. It's been challenging, but that's what we signed up for. So we're glad to be here.
Like full electric rehearsal in your hotel room?
I'll tell you the truth. It was myself and Tim and Neil sitting in a hotel room watching Brad Dan and just hoping that everything
fingers crossed.
goes well with his family.
Yeah, I agree. With the advent of all the platforms and the ability to reach people, you can circumvent the traditional structure of the music industry. You can do that now quite easily, but when you started, that was not there.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. That mentality and that attitude was there because we were fortunate enough to come from the Washington, D.C. sort of post-hardcore scene. We saw bands like Fugazi all the time. We saw bands like the Bad Brains. We would see other bands like the Melvins and Helmet. And all these were bands that were just...
Wow.
All these were bands that they just got in a van and they just did shows.
Yeah.
And we learned that early on, that just because you have a song on the radio doesn't really mean shit. Do you have fans that will come and see your music? Do you have a catalog that you can play for people? And so that's very early on. We sort of adopted that ethos.
Asking Alexandria, download 2023. Hindsight being 2020, and you look back upon when you started, and what's happened. Do you look back and go, missed opportunity? There was one point that we said we should have taken that.
There's a few points. You ever heard of Bitcoin? Could have bought that when it was 4 cents.
Indeed. Well, that's a good point because you guys were you basically started, I think, when the smartphones began. I think 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. So smartphone came in and everything changed. Like everything changed, and how the platform, the distribution, where you find your own audiences. So you guys would have to sort of you learned as the whole thing developed. You started when the technology started.
Which we caught the very tail end of record sales, and then we adapted into the streaming starting to be a thing, and then it was touring is everything, and now we're moving into streaming is everything.
Yeah. And
it's online and social is everything. So we've gone through kind of 3-4 iterations of this industry.
Yeah.
And it's
how to grapple.
It's more confusing now.
I'm going to put it into AI in Bard, Google's Bard. That's a good question to asking Alexandria. Do you know what it asked me? You know what it said? I should say.
I've heard the Google one's a bit stupid.
I think it just said, "What's it like winning a Grammy?" Seriously,
well, that one
came back.
The Google one's an asshole because we've been nominated for all of them for years, and we've never made final round, so we haven't won one.
That answers
Thanks
that
for
question.
reminding us, Google.
Rude and Stefan from Within Temptation on Primordial Radio at Download 23. Then you get home, and then it's time to go do the groceries. Do you then go, wish I was on the road?
I used to have that. I used to be a teacher, music teacher. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I would teach. And on Thursday, we would leave for a festival or something. And it was always difficult to... When I was teaching, I was like, tomorrow I need to leave for that trip again. And on Sunday, when we would be flying home, I would, tomorrow I need to teach again. I'm not teaching anymore these days, but back then it was really difficult to really be in the moment, basically.
It depends on how long you're going to be home and how long you're out. If you're home for barely a week, then you kind of like it, And if it's too long, then you definitely miss being on the road.
Epica with Primordial Radio at Download 23. Hello, Epica.
Hello, Primordial Radio.
How are you?
Really good.
We're talking mental health. You know, everybody has, it's just natural, ups and downs, and downs. But you have to go on and you have to perform because you'll be judged on that performance, the last performance. But still, so that must be challenging because it's like, hey, let's be happy or whatever, And now you've got to go on and put that same show on, and you may have had a shit day, you've had a tough time, you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
All these things. How do you achieve that?
For me personally, I don't know how it is for other people in the band, but even if we have like a argument in the band, or there's some stuff going on, or
which we never have.
Yeah, which we have.
In 21 years. No, never argued.
But from the moment you step a foot on stage, the six of us, that's like gone.
As December falls, Primordial Radio, it's Download 2023. Hello!
Hey!
We didn't envisage this.
Wouldn't it be great if we played Download?
Yeah, I don't think it didn't even get that far. It was like, wouldn't it be cool if we made an album one day? And like, here we are on our third record.
Indeed.
We're probably about to chart for the first time, playing Download for the first time. Like, it's a good.
Do you have a bit of imposter syndrome at all? Going, really? This is happening?
Absolutely, 100%. I feel like you guys don't get it.
You always knew it.
Yeah. You're just like, yeah, we're here. Whereas like you come off stage and you kind of get that just weird feeling of, should I have just been doing that? Like that's me. Like I don't know. I'm like a nerdy, anxious kid from Nottingham. Like should I have been up there? Like.
Yeah. And how were you 5 minutes before you took the stage?
I was. To be fair, I wasn't too bad today because they were playing absolute vibey, boppy music. Yeah, we were dancing our hearts out to 5, 6, 7, 8 and Barbie Girl, and
I feel like that helped a lot.
I'm definitely having Venga Boys play every single time before we come on stage now forever.
The metal elitists would not like that. They would not like that at all. Bob Vylan at Download 2023 on Primordial Radio. Bob Vylan, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Nobody asked, but I'm very well. Thank you very much for your concern.
Very rarely do people ask me as well, so I feel your pain.
Last time I saw you, I don't know if you remember, but you were at our event at the Lincolnshire Showgrounds. And at that time, you were making friends and pissing people off equally at the same time. What's happened since then? About the same?
The same thing, yeah. Piss more people off than made friends, probably. But we've had an album come out. I think it came out on the day that we played that festival.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. And, well, it did pretty well. It did all right.
Yes, it did all right. And I know that everybody talks about it because you're sort of held up as the poster children of DIY, how to do it on your own, because you guys have literally done it all on your own. Well, yeah. And so, you look back and you think, okay, let's say you started pre-smartphone. Would you be here without social media and all the platforms that have that have allowed you to get into people's palms?
We'd be even bigger. Well, we would be. When like the Sex Pistols got like that big $1 million contract or whatever from like Universal or whatever it was at the time. That is what would have happened if we had released We Live Here at that time.
At that time in the 70s.
Yeah, without all the technology and stuff, like that's what would have happened.
But the Sex Pistols were a boy band put together deliberately with an idea behind it. You guys aren't that. You don't have a manager who goes, you know what we should do? We should put together like a deliberately provocative act so that we can fuck off people.
Yeah, the whole thing has been orchestrated by the man over there in the corner. I'm blowing the cover, I'm the whistleblower. He has put this whole thing together, and it's kind of time for it to come to an end now. And we're manufactured boy band in the same vein as the Sex Pistols.
Download 2023 on Primordial Radio. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm well. Better question, how are you?
I'm dying. I'm so tired, but very happy. So.
Because because of the heat, because of everything, the exhaustion, the anticipation, everything?
Pretty much, yeah, mix of playing a show in the heat, the excitement, I think, and the adrenaline, and now it's slowly coming down as well, so like it's a mix of feelings and emotions. It's a roller coaster.
So today was your biggest gig ever?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it was, which
Insane.
is unreal. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really, thought about this too much because I couldn't grasp the size of the whole kind of event as well. This is like a special edition too, so.
Yeah. Mikey from Skindred!
Yes,
how are you, brother?
I'm good, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your time on what is a momentous day for Skindred and for you, headlining at Download.
I know, at last, validation at last. I'm stoked, I'm psyched.
But, so, I mean, we go into the minutiae of headlining and the differences.
Yeah.
But, replacement for Five Finger Death Punch because unfortunately, circumstances. So, I found it fascinating that when Andy Copping, when I read the press release that, okay, you guys are doing it, good call. Yeah. But he called you a suitable replacement for Five Finger Death Punch. What do you think suitable means when describing Skindred?
I think we're quite different, like musically, and I guess they put on a slightly different show and all that stuff. They've got like the pyro and the flames and all that good stuff. I mean, we don't have any of that, but like we got the tunes, we got the vibes. I guess it's just like there was probably a lot of love for Five Finger Death Punch coming to Download. And there's a lot of love for Skindred. I'm feeling a lot of love for Skindred, so I'm guessing it's like we didn't feel like a wild card. We didn't feel like a what? Like I've seen nothing but positivity about us coming back.
Here we are in Download Festival. Who'd have thought would we be here? Rockin' and rolling, everybody near.
Hi, I'm Crofty, Sky Sports F1 Formula 1 commentator, and here at Download, what's my highlight? Well, the weather, the people, the vibe, the who, just seen them, unbelievably good. Lorna short, massively intense, as were Jinjer, who I've never seen before. Thursday, they absolutely rocked. Metallica were okay, liked them, but they weren't the highlight. Skindred, ladies and gentlemen, get the festival vibe and a bit of love from the family dread. What's not to like about that? At some stage we'll go home and recover from it all. But Download 2023 has been a blast.